While Ng's success is far below what Michelle Yeoh has achieved. Do you need to say that? Do you really need to say that? If you can just write an article with the two of us without shitting on me. Don't compare me to Michelle Yeoh. Come on. I'm doing my best here. Welcome back to Haiyaa podcast. I am talking to you from my house in London. And producer Matt is on, but he's on the internet, calling in from Honfleur. We are Zooming each other, ladies and gentlemen. Honfleur. Where's that? In France?
Yeah, it's in northern France. It's like a little seaside town. We're in an Airbnb. Gemma's parents have come and joined us for the last bit of this never-ending trip.
This trip is never-ending. Holy shit, listeners. When I talk about like British work ethic, this is what I'm talking about. The autoresponders. That's why I love WhatsApping the people I work with in Britain, because you can't put an autoresponder on a WhatsApp. You know, you WhatsApp someone, you text someone, they're never gonna go, oh, Nigel's on holiday from this date to this date. For any inquiries, please contact this.
Could you imagine if I did that for a month? Could you imagine?
Yeah. You'll be fired. I'll ghost you. We called each other earlier today. It's right now 2:56 p.m. We started our call at 2:10 to set up stuff. And you have no clue where to put the camera. I had to help Matt fix his image quality. You were backlit to shit, and then your camera, when you put it in the corner, where all I saw was just this backlit room. I saw the overexposed sunlight from the outside, and yeah, you have to face the light, man. You worked with a YouTuber before. You worked with Marcus before. You never picked up any filming tips.
That was that was a long time ago, and back then, framing and video is not really my thing. I'm audio, and I can, if I'm working with a DOP, great, I can say, yeah, let's do this, let's do that. But when it's myself, I do feel useless when it comes to lighting and things like that.
You did a podcast with him with video. Was there a DOP for the Marcus Butler podcast, Matt?
Yeah, Marcus was the DOP.
Oh.
Like you are on this podcast, Nigel.
Oh, so when you were working in Marcus, did you also go to France? And did you also fuck off to France for a month?
No.
Oh, so you just do this to me, huh? Listeners, see what I'm working with here? Kidding. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. It's that, and also even though we've been away, I'm glad. Other than that 1 week where we couldn't get it up on time, we've got there. The Wi-Fi and things has been pretty horrendous. Everywhere I've gone, apart from one place which I absolutely loved, and I wanted you to record 4 episodes and just send it all to me because I won't have to hotspot my phone or anything like that. But no, it's been good because we've still been in touch and that, haven't we? So we've been plowing through for the Haiyaa podcast.
Does your wife Gemma only pick places with shitty internet? Is that her travel bucket list? Is that her Lonely Planet 50 places you need to visit before you die? It's rural, far-flung France. Crazy.
She's trying to subconsciously try and get me fired. Maybe I work too much or something and she wants me to get...
No, she works too little.
I don't know.
A month. Sabbatical. People go on sabbatical when they're 50. Sabbatical when she's, 29, 30?
28.
What sabbatical? What sabbatical does she need?
It is good, though, that company, because they're corporate. Every 5 years you're there, you get a month off. So in another 5 years, I'll be taking another month off. I can't wait.
Jesus Christ. See what I have to deal with when I work with British. That's why I want to move to LA, man. That's why if you're still working on the podcast, you better move to LA with me so I can exploit you. Okay,
They don't take any breaks.
American employment law. There's no sabbatical. That's just called being fired. That's just called unemployment sabbatical. But okay, we did make it happen, so I appreciate it.
And also, you've managed to make it happen, being here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes the time difference between the two of us has been crazy.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse. When you go to Asia, it's going to get even worse.
No, but listeners, Matt is coming with me to Asia. You're only coming to Bangkok, not everywhere. Bangkok, your favorite place. We talked about this. You must be over the moon. Finally, I can go to Asia and it's for work, because if I tell my friends that, oh, I'm just a single British guy going to Thailand, it sounds sketchy. But if I say I'm just a single British guy going on a work trip to Thailand, it sounds much better.
No one will believe that. When I'm at the airport, if there's anyone with me, I'll be with all the 50-year-old white guys on the plane. I'll be like, no, I'm here for work. And I'll be like, yeah, me too. Yeah, we all are.
Is Gemma gonna trust you?
Yeah, of course she does.
Listeners, tell me where I should bring Matt. All right, if you're a Bangkok local, tell me where I should bring Matt.
I texted my friend saying, I might be going on a work trip to Bangkok for like a couple of days. Like, if I have some time, do you have recommendations of what to do? And they all were like, oh yeah, go to Nana Plaza. And I Googled it and I was like, brilliant.
Great.
Yes, I've been there. It's actually quite fun. It's actually quite
Really?
fun. You can do the CD stuff if you want, which you probably will, but you don't have to. You know.
I won't be doing the CD
Listen,
stuff. I'm
drag
married.
drag shows are really fun. What happens in Nana Plaza stays in Nana Plaza, man. I'm not gonna rat on you. I need to know a few secrets about you so I can exploit you. You know? So have you made the clip, Matt? Have you edited the clip? I have Gemma's number, Matt. Remember what happened last summer in Bangkok, Matt? Remember?
I think that's why you're so insistent that I go to Bangkok. I think I've figured it out. That's it. You'll want to get that material on me.
Trying to find that thing I can blackmail you with, you know. But to be fair, I also asked you to come to Tokyo, but you said you had Glastonbury. Glastonbury.
Don't, because I know people will judge me massively.
It's a music festival, listeners. For the people who don't know,
It's important to me, and it's been booked for because we were meant to go in 2020, so it's been nearly 3 years now. And getting tickets are impossible.
Yeah.
We've already bought the tent and everything. I'm driving.
you're too
It's like
old for Glastonbury, man. Just accept it. Stop trying to be young. Your 20s are over. You don't see me going to Glastonbury. They want me to perform there, and I say no.
Yeah, dude, you should. Why not?
What you should
I hate
perform there.
camping. Have you seen my house? Have you seen my house, Matt? Do you think I will want to leave this to sit in a polystyrene fabric? But listen, this year I don't even get that much time to spend in my house, you know. So let me enjoy my house when I'm here. I talk about my house too much. I get some comments. People say I talk about my house too much because it's my only hobby. It's my only hobby. I'm childless. I'm partnerless. I have my house. I have this podcast. You know, that sometimes we'll do solo because Matt is off on a sabbatical. It's not even you on a sabbatical, by the way. It's Gemma. It's his wife. And then, do you need to be with her like all month? Maybe like 2 weeks of the month, you know?
Yeah, but I've been driving us round. We've been going all the way around France.
I'm glad you're having a good time.
Thank you.
We'll reunite soon in Asia. Listeners, that's why we gotta keep growing the podcast so I can afford to fly Matt out everywhere. This month we got BetterHelp sponsoring, so we could like splurge a bit of extra cash to fly Matt out to places. So when I move to LA next year, you know, and you want Matt to come, this podcast needs to be big enough to be able to sponsor Matt's visa, guys. So go subscribe to the channel, leave an Apple review on Apple Podcasts, you know, and then a review say like, oh, I want to help Matt go to LA with Nigel. Okay, we'll get Gemma over too. No, you don't want to do a long distance marriage, right? Let's get Gemma over to LA. I'm sure she'll love it. She'll
You're
love
making
it.
it sound like it's a Make-A-Wish thing for me. I don't like it. I'm not a charity case, guys.
No, LA's cool. But yeah, BetterHelp sponsored
cool.
this a few episodes of the podcast this month. So shout out. They're not sponsoring this episode. But I actually signed up to get therapy already, and I did my first session yesterday. So it was with this woman named Amanda. It was all online, right? So I signed in, we started talking, and I remember I was talking about like being overworked and being a workaholic, because I always feel it's normal, but it's always good to have a sanity check. So I always feel I don't know if I'm mentally well adjusted or a complete psychopath. And I'm like, yeah, everything's okay, all of that, you know? So I just talked with her about this. And she asked, oh, why do you think you work so hard? And I say, oh, because in social media, the world of social media, things move really fast. So if I don't post, say, a video every week, every couple of weeks, people forget about me. So that's why I have this fear of being irrelevant, fear of being forgotten, because it's my career, and I care about it a lot. So when I don't post things, people will forget about me. And that's why I overwork, because of the fear of being irrelevant. That's why I keep posting things so people don't forget about me. That's what I said to her. And then she replied, do you think people will forget about you if you forget about you? See, you're laughing already. I tried. Do you think people will forget about you if you forget about you? Oh, cringe. I was trying so hard on that session to not like cringe out loud. I was just like, oh God. So I was trying so hard to stifle a laugh. You paid a lot of money and you studied for a lot of years to say this high school shower thought to people who need help. It's a cringeworthy thought, right? Like, I get it. I get where she's coming from. I get it. You need to like kind of know there are much better way to phrase things, right? I get what she's trying to say. You need to know yourself and know what you want, and then you can work towards it instead of just blindly pursuing and just blindly day to day, just, that kind of thing. That's what she's trying to say, right? But do you really need to turn it into a fridge magnet, live, laugh, love saying? Full disclosure, BetterHelp sponsors a few therapy sessions so the podcast host can take a few sessions and see for themselves and talk about it on the episode. But like, even if it's free, it's like, come on, man, right? What do you think? It's a high school shower thought, isn't it?
The issue is, like you say, where she's driving makes sense.
Yeah.
But you know that she is loving it when she's got that line. That's to her, that's like the Oprah Winfrey, are you being silent or silenced? That's what she's doing. Yeah. That line. In her head, she's like, oh, I'm nailing this. Like, wow, he is getting some good therapy right now.
Can we do a reaction video to shitty, smug therapy like this? Is there a video somewhere? Of like a TED Talk. Yeah, a TED Talk with full of cliches like these, but she's so smug. But yeah, it's like, oh. And then also, it was done over like Zoom or something, right? Like an online equivalent, BetterHelp equivalent of Zoom. And then in the corner of the room, she had like a little stool. And on that stool is a little white plastic sign. You know those signs in London, you see them everywhere. In Britain, you see them everywhere. It's a white plastic signs. The letters, you can change the letters and make it say anything you want, right? And there's a sign on the stool that says hope. Come on! And you're supposed to be like, I don't know, a master's degree holder or a PhD, and you're a plastic sign that says hope. Who is this helping? Who's about to kill themselves? And then they jump on this therapy, and they're like, oh, hope. I forgot about that. Hope on a plastic sign on a stool. Just that. It's a terrible interior decor, but it worked. It's on a stool. Like, she didn't even build this little alcove. You know, like my little display alcove. Sorry, the plant is blocking it. My bad. But it's a little display alcove. But I guess people say you need to find a therapist who works for you, right? And maybe she doesn't work for me. And the good thing with BetterHelp, I can't shit talk my sponsors too much. Keep that in.
I want to go to Bangkok. Stop shit talking.
Okay. BetterHelp's still good because you can still find the counselor that works for you. You know, if one doesn't work, You can find others that work for you. So maybe this lady, the hope lady, this if you forget who you are, will people forget who you are, lady? So maybe she doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for some other people. I don't know. Maybe it works for some people who love this Oprah style therapy. You know, speaking of which. And Matt didn't know this beforehand, but she was also a black woman. So Matt didn't know beforehand. So the Oprah reference was innocent.
Brilliant. Yeah. Can I say I definitely didn't know that beforehand?
Yes. Matt really didn't know. Okay? Matt really didn't know. The Oprah reference was made because of the choice of words alone, not because of her skin tone. Oh, God. They need to find, there needs to be an app that lets you find the right therapist, like a Tinder for therapy. Because it's Tinder, the looks don't matter as much, but of course it's always nice to have a therapist who's easy on the eyes, you know what I mean? Life is hard enough. You don't want to look at some ogre, you know?
Easy on the eyes is just so dad chauvinistic talk. It was like, oh yeah,
I can do easy on the eyes, guy. It applies to men too. What are you talking about? It's a very neutral statement, Matt. Matt is a bit worried about the Oprah comment now. He's overcorrecting and trying to be super woke.
Do you feel like you're performing when you're speaking to her? Because I've done therapy a few years ago and I found it very hard to talk about myself because it's not something that's in as a monologue, it's not something I really do. Whereas I guess doing stand-up, you are monologuing, but you're performing. So how did you find that?
There's a little bit of that. Sometimes I go into podcast mode. Because I bore myself if I don't perform, I'm just talking, and then it's just, when I say performing, to me, it just feels like saying something interesting.
Yeah.
That is what performing feels to me. Otherwise, if I'm just like, okay, if listeners, if you want me to completely not perform, then I just go like, I just want to work really hard, but I don't think I'll overwork because sometimes I give myself breaks and I'm kind to myself and I don't set unrealistic expectations. And there are things you can control and things you can't control. So when you set goals, you have to separate the two and know which one, blah, 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 blah. You see how boring this is? To me, it's also common sense. Everybody knows this. Why am I saying this?
True.
Why am I saying this to someone who knows this already? This is my therapist, like to show her that I'm mentally very stable and well adjusted. What's the point of that? I don't go as crazy as on the pod, of course, but there is like interesting things I say.
Oh God, I'm so worried about what you talk about. Just start riffing on pedophiles or something. I just know that's gonna happen.
No. I kept the pedo talk to a minimum. Okay, I kept the pedo talk to a minimum.
Just leave it at home.
When she said that, do you think people will forget who you are if you forget who you are? When she was saying that line, I was stifling a laughter, right? And like I kind of just moved on from it. And 2 minutes later, she was like, "I know you're trying really hard to not cringe right now." And I said, "Yeah, I am." So, but in my fairness, in credit to me, I did try to show some compassion by saying, maybe ridiculing things is my defense mechanism, as opposed to being vulnerable. I think that's a nice thing to say, right? That's a nice thing. This is compassion.
I mean, did you not mean it?
I mean, I did not mean it because it's not a defense mechanism. It's a bullshit saying that deserves to be made fun of, right? A defense mechanism would be if someone's trying to get you to be vulnerable, and then you just go, pussy. That's the defense mechanism. But I have no trouble being vulnerable. I'm vulnerable all the time, Not in my Uncle Roger videos, you don't want to be too into that. But even on stage sometimes, man, I just say some shit, and sometimes I eventually find the funny in it, but you take some risk sometimes. I say some vulnerable things on stage. Yeah, if you will know if you come to my show, and I'm on tour right now, so go get tickets. And also, in fairness to her, she cut out the whole like Oprah shit after that exchange. There's no more pseudo-intellectual pithy sayings. Okay, she cut out the whole Oprah shit. She just became normal again.
Just like, yeah, you work too hard. Stop it, you twat.
I wish I would say that. That is my therapy.
Have a holiday.
You work too hard? Really? What time do you go to the gym? 9:30? And you come back at 11:30? And then you bought some plants in between? Wow. You work too hard. Okay, tell that to a mother of 5, a single mom of 5, who can't afford baby formula and inflation's killing them. You work too hard. How many jobs do you have? Okay, you work all the time, sure. But sometimes you work in your pajamas. Sometimes you work in your living room, feet on the couch, on the ottoman, So, yeah, I need to find a harsh therapist like that. Maybe I need to filter by race, find an Asian person.
You essentially just need Uncle Roger to give you therapy, don't you? That's the answer to this. If you could split yourself in two and just have Uncle Roger giving you therapy, all your problems would soon go away.
That might happen, I think when I'll get dementia someday and just completely morph into Uncle Roger. And then my kids go to the old folks' home to visit me. Just, Haiyaa! What is this instant rice? You drained the rice, Haiyaa. That's gonna happen, Something, I'm gonna hit my head in a motorcycle accident and then wake up as Uncle Roger. Can we make that a movie? I'm half tempted to call my agent right now and pitch this movie idea to him on a Sunday. Should we do that? Let's do it. Why not?
Hello, mate.
Hey, Matt. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. We're in the middle of recording a podcast right now, so you might be in the episode. But
Okay.
I think it'll be funny to bug you on Sunday when you're spending time with your children to pitch you this movie
Okay, was that a
idea.
football match.
What? You're the football match.
I'm just watching my son play football, yeah.
Listen, Matt, this is more important. So,
Go for it. Hit me.
what about this movie idea where I get into a car accident and I wake up, so there's a brain trauma happening, and I wake up as Uncle Roger?
Yeah, I quite like that.
All right, we'll put a treatment together, man. We'll put a treatment together.
I'll see you on set.
Put me on. See you on set. Enjoy the football game. Sorry to bother you on a Sunday.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.
Amazing.
Hey, it worked. Okay, listeners, let me know if this is a good idea. Because we're mean people. And I say this because there was a recent article. Nice segue to something that's pre-prepared. So there's this article in a Malaysian newspaper. It's called The Star. The newspaper is called The Star. It's called The Action Queen and the Comedian by June H.L. Wong. So it's an article about Michelle Yeoh, okay? And then for some reason, she decides to tag me on. I don't know why, because you can write an article about Michelle Yeoh. That's fine. She's very famous. She's very successful and talented. A great actress. The pride of Malaysia. I don't know why you need to tag me on. And you'll see what I mean later, listeners. It's a 4-page article. I printed it out, so it's 4 pages. It's a 4-page article. I printed it out, and it's like 4 pages long. And I only appear on like the bottom of page 3. So again, I have no idea why she put me in this article. Okay, so let me read out a few excerpts from the article. The gist of it is, oh my God, Michelle Yeoh has a new movie, which she is in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And we have a funny story about that as well. Stay tuned for the rest of the episode. So she says, I want to celebrate the international success of Tan Sri Michelle Yeoh. Yeoh is, of course, Malaysia's most well-known personality in the entertainment world. She has TV and movies. She turned 60 this year. Her career spans 4 decades. She's worked with Jackie Chan. She's done Police Story. She's done stunts and James Bond. Everything. She's in Star Trek. So many things. And then she said, I caught the earliest daily screening of Everything Everywhere All at Once. EEAAO. That's the acronyms. Her character in EAAO is simply out of this world, okay? It has tenderness and charm and everything. She plays it with so much grace, grit, and perfect comic timing. It made me laugh and cry. She was irresistible. All these nice things, right? And then a few pages down, Nigel Ng, 31, through his YouTube videos featuring his crass but endearing Apek character called Uncle Roger. Apek means like a middle-aged boomer, Asian boomer. Apek character called Uncle Roger has won legions of fans. While Ng's success is far below what Michelle Yeoh has achieved. Which, do you need to say that? Do you really need to say that? If you can just write an article with the two of us without shitting on me. Don't compare me to Michelle Yeoh. Come on. I'm doing my best here, June H.L. Wong. She says, while Ng's success is far below what Michelle Yeoh has achieved, he represents the new generation of Malaysians with true boleh spirit. Boleh means like can do, spirit. And I'm rooting for him to expand and extend beyond being an internet sensation. Ng's Haiyaa World Tour is coming to Kuala Lumpur in June. But this auntie is too cheap to pay to see him live. So she will enjoy his performances on YouTube. Do you have to say this? It's supposed to be PR for me, woman. And remember earlier she was like, I bought tickets to go see Michelle Yeoh everywhere in the movie EEAAO, in the movie theater. That's a movie screening. Michelle Yeoh isn't even there. And she's like, yeah, I'll pay money to go see a projector with Michelle Yeoh on it. Yeah, but I won't pay money to see this guy live who travels all the way to fucking perform for you.
Do you think she's like her editor is a fan and said, oh yeah, do Michelle Yeoh, but let's also do Nigel Ng because he's great. And then she's just there like, oh fuck's sake, if I'm gonna write about him, I'm gonna shit on him. And that's basically what she's done.
That's probably what happened. She said, yeah, but put Michelle Yeoh is great, you'll get a lot of clicks. Put Nigel Ng in there too, you'll get even more clicks because the young people like Nigel. Say, okay, who is this Nigel kid? Just puts me, yeah, whatever. Like page 3, put it under page 3.
My favorite is that first line though, just like, oh maybe some. What's the line? It's like he's not
successful. While Ng's success is far below what Michelle Yeoh has achieved. Who writes something like that?
Far below.
Yeah. What is this? And then she says, I'm rooting for him to expand and extend beyond being an internet sensation. Bitch, I'm coming to perform live and you won't buy a ticket. What do you want me to do, woman?
Also saying as if like internet sensation is such a bad thing. Like sensation is a positive adjective. It's so strange. I don't get it.
That's the Malaysian sense of humor. It's hard.
How did you find that? Did some fans send it through?
I have a Google alert for my name, so I see every article that's written about me.
Nice.
Yeah, and trust me, listeners, don't do that. Because... don't do that. So a lot of shit is bad. It's a lot of Reddit discussions about me. It's about really? Is Uncle Roger an offensive caricature to Asian people?
Dude, you must get so bored of that argument. Like, you must be sick of talking on it. I've noticed when you've done like other interviews and podcasts, like, it normally crops its way up somehow, and it's like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's useful because it tells me what kind of publication it is. Is it like a very like a liberal, very left-leaning, wokey thing? I don't mind answering it if it's from a big publication, but if it's like I answer it a lot of times now. But I have my stock answer, a prepared answer, so I don't really mind it. But yeah, everybody, there seems to be the question everybody asks, and like, can we focus like on the funny, you know? Because sometimes it's great being white, you know. White people see this Uncle stuff, they're like, oh, it's funny, it's great. It's really funny. Let's take down Jamie Oliver a few packs. It's funny, right? And that's how it should be viewed as. I know that because you can never have a point of view that's completely devoid of the sociological influences of, you know, the societal influences. You have to be aware of the undercurrents and the overtones and everything. Every word you say carries weight. It's so unfun, you know. I make these videos as something fun, and these discussions are so not fun. It's the opposite of what I intended to set out to do. And then there's always this. I'll address this. This is a new angle I haven't talked about before. But every time this type of topic crops up, with an Asian person does an accent, sometimes people will quote this Bo Burnham quote, right? They'll say like, "Oh, because when an Asian comic does an accent on stage, people secretly think you guys are laughable." And by an Asian comic doing an Asian accent, you're giving them permission to laugh. And I'm like, okay, first of all, why are we listening to Bo Burnham for like Asian culture advice on like a second generation Asian immigrant experience? Why are we listening to Bo Burnham for this? Why are we quoting Bo Burnham for this Asian discourse?
He's seen some Asian films. He's seen some anime. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. Why are we quoting him? Also, I don't view us as laughable. And if white people view us as laughable, that's a problem with them. People with accents aren't laughable. Is my mom laughable? I hope not. That's a more problem with like racist white people. That's not a problem with me, right? So those are my two counterpoints. If people bring out that Bo Burnham quote to me, that's what I say. Really? And listen to Bo Burnham he's very talented, very funny. I love his stuff. But I wouldn't like listen to him on the Asian diaspora issues, you know? I would listen to Scarlett Johansson for Asian issues because she knows a thing or two about being Asian. You know what I mean? I'll give Scarlett a call. Hopefully when I move to LA, I'll meet her. And by Scarlett, you're my favorite Asian actor, Scarlett. I'm such a fan, Scarlett. When you played the Asian woman in all those movies, it was so amazing. Can you speak like, how does that color your experience as a second generation Asian diaspora person? Do you feel like you're not white enough to be white, but not Asian enough to be Asian, and then you never belong anywhere? When you put makeup on, you put Botox to like squint those eyes a bit more, Ariana. When you put the makeup, the Asian makeup and the squinty eye makeup, is that how you feel? Is it because you feel like you aren't seen in society? Because Asians have always been known to be invisible in the media, in the spotlight. We're never in the spotlight. We're always like the nerdy kid, the geeky kid, you know, the doctor. We're never in the spotlight. Is that why, Ariana? Is that why you put that Asian makeup? Is that why you dress up as like a geisha, Ariana? Because you don't feel seen? Is that why? I'd like to meet her too one day. I'm a big fan of Ariana. She can yellow face all she wants. So there's that about the article. Oh yeah, speaking of the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie, I went on a date in LA. We went to see that movie, but that date was fucking crazy. Okay? I went on this app called Haiyaa, which I talked about in last week's episode. I don't know why I didn't bring it up in last week's episode. I sent Matt like some voice notes telling him the whole story. Matt played the voice. So you played it for Gemma, your wife, right? To get the female perspective. Yeah. Otherwise, it just becomes, because Matt's secretly a sexist pig as well. So he's always on my side. Like, yeah, fuck those hoes, bro. Fuck those hoes. They don't know how good you have it. Consent? What is that? I don't fuck with consent, bro. Women don't even know what they want. So don't even ask. Bro. I can play that voice. Matt, send me that as a voice, so I'll play it for you, listeners, next time. Well,
I think it's good that you didn't bring it up last week on your own, because if you were saying that sort of shit. Yeah. It is crazy though. I'm looking forward to like seeing the comments on this story.
Women don't even know what they want, bro. So why ask? And they say no, they don't know what they want. So no means yes, you know? Anyways, that's what Matt says in his free time. I'm glad you're married now, Matt. So Gemma can put that under control. It's crazy that some of the sexist shit you spout, Matt. It's like it scares me. Honestly, it scares me a lot. And I'm like, I'm glad this guy is married because oh boy, he's a menace to society. He's like the less successful Harvey Weinstein, of the podcast world. He's like the Harvey. It's tragic, Sometimes he produces. He's a Harvey Weinstein. He's like a Harvey Weinstein who's bad at filming. So,
This is so
like a
good.
talentless Harvey Weinstein.
It's a Sunday. I'm on holiday in Honfleur, and I am being absolutely slandered.
It's all that pent up bullying, Matt, that I haven't been able to unleash for the last month. So, but
Yeah,
okay,
it's
kidding,
okay.
listeners, kidding. Okay.
No, then Nigel, come on, tell us what happened. Just tell us what
Okay,
happened, and
okay,
then
okay.
we can all sit in it and see: are you a menace, or are you actually, you've maybe got your own trauma from this? Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So I met this woman on Haiyaa, and first date was a coffee date. It was all right. It was fun. K-Town somewhere. Walked her home. We both stayed in K-Town, so I just walked her home. It was all good. Very nice. Pleasant. So we made dinner plans, right? So dinner was like a Sunday, Mother's Day. And then she came over to the hotel bar. We just sat and chatted. Okay, so the first problem started when I was like, oh, so what did you do for Mother's Day? And she was like, oh, I just don't really have a good relationship with my mother, so nothing. I said, did you not call her? I said, no, I didn't. And I said, oh, well, I called my mom, told her a little bit about that. And I prodded her a little, I poked fun of her a little bit. I said, well, I have a very good relationship with my mom. So I called her and she loves me, that kind of thing. Jokingly.
I mean, you didn't say that in the voice note. You didn't say that in the voice note.
I said I was joking in the voice note, jokingly. Okay.
Okay.
And then she just kind of got so mad. She was like, I don't like your vibe today. It feels different from the vibe last week. And I think I'm just tired, but nice to meet you. And I'm heading home now. She just stormed off. So, okay, fine. I agree. It could, sometimes, certain things people are sensitive about, right? So I texted her, hey, sorry, I was being insensitive about those jokes. Can we just start again? So she cooled down a bit. She texted me like, okay, fine. Come pick me up. We got dinner. And then I went over, picked her up in an Uber. We went to Sugarfish, a sushi place. We got dinner. The conversation was flowing well. It was fun. I joked about how I pissed her off earlier. It was all good. We addressed it. We were just laughing about it. And then we said, oh, want to watch a movie? And I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch a new Michelle Yeoh film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because it's Michelle Yeoh is now like an internet superstar and my achievements are way below her. I also read her the article and she laughed. I read her what I just said to you guys. Now listeners, you know what it's like going out on a date with me. It's like the podcast, essentially. So we were laughing a lot. She was making me laugh. I was making her laugh. Everything was good. We booked tickets for the movie. And then we had 2 hours before the movie to kill. So we just went to get a drink. She doesn't drink, so we just got soda. I drank. Just sort of talking. And we talked about slightly intimate stuff, what she likes in bed, bedroom stuff. And she was going to fly to San Francisco to come see me. We were looking at flights to San Francisco, right? And then all that stuff because she hasn't seen me perform yet. And my shows in LA were done now at that point. So she was like, yeah, I'll come to San Francisco to come see you, the next day, 2 days from now. And then we were looking at flights, picking out what flight to go to, whatever. And then she said, yeah, I'll stay in a hotel in San Francisco. All good, right? So we watched the movie, all good, it was fun. We made out in the movie theater a little bit. And then so when the movie ended, I said, so, this is verbatim, yeah? I said, so should we head back to mine? And she said, no, I like using my own skincare products. And I said, well, I have lots of skincare shit at home. Korean stuff, actually. Because she's like a quarter Korean. So she was like, nah, I just like to use my own stuff. To me, that comes across like flirting, that kind of, maybe, that kind of thing. Oh, you don't usually do this. That comes across like that. So I ordered the Uber. She hopped in, and I headed to my hotel. And we got in, and on the way back, we were almost there. She was like, wait, where are we going? I said, oh, my hotel, right? And she's like, what the fuck? She just flipped the shit out. She just got so angry at me. She rolled the windows down. I was like, what's wrong? I can put your address in. I'll put your address in now if you want. That's totally cool. She said, don't fucking talk to me. I'm gonna be violent right now. So she was just super angry. So I was like, okay, fine. I put her address, her home address as the first stop, dropped her off, went back to mine. This is what I got, a text from her. I just apologized again. I was like, sorry about that. I really misunderstood the vibe and the cues. And if I knew you wanted to head back to yours, I would have, got you your own Uber, to ship ferry you back, or even, put your address in. I basically, my text ended with, I had a really nice evening. Sorry, I had to end this way. And she replied, I told you multiple times in multiple ways that I wanted to go home. I told you I couldn't wait to sleep in my bed. I told you that I had a lot to do tomorrow. I told you that I don't have the products I like to use before bed. And you trying to spin the story any otherwise should really make you ashamed of yourself, deeply. But there's that. Oof. Basically, I feel if I misread the cues, it's fine. I don't think it's a big thing to get upset over, because I was respectful. If you tell me that I misread her intentions, I'll be like, okay, sorry about that. Let's get you home. That's fine. Right? And also, she didn't explicitly say, like she could be like, oh, all joking aside, Nigel, I really can't go back with you tonight. I don't usually do this, so I would like to go back to mine. Totally cool. I've done that so many times. Dates don't always end back at mine, So I think my diagnosis as an armchair therapist is that she crazy. What do you think, listeners? Because, again, we talked about her flying to San Francisco from LA to see my show and then stay over at the hotel. We made out, okay? We talked about, bedroom things. So, even if, I don't think I misread the signs, but even if I did misread the signs, it's not something to be so angry over. That's what I think.
Well, no, especially I won't speak for Gemma, but we both said that it was a red flag to begin with when she freaked out about the mum jokes at the start, because she knows what you do for a living, right? You're a stand-up comedian. If you're going to go on a date with a stand-up comedian, they're probably going to tell some jokes you're going to be teased a bit. That's probably part of the foreplay. Yeah, I thought that was a bit strange. And then the fact that as soon as she mentioned, explicitly, I'm not into this, you immediately stopped and said, right, okay, I don't see why she got so angry. I think it's a massive overreaction.
Yeah. Yeah. See? Matt has the same diagnosis as me.
She crazy.
Yes. Yes. That should be a new dating show on ITV. She crazy or you crazy? Okay? She cray, you cray. So we get a couple broken up, and then they just tell the whole story, and then we get 4 experts who are comedians, who failed comedians, trying to still remain relevant, and give their verdict. Is she crazy or you crazy? Welcome back. Tonight on She Crazy or You Crazy, we have a long-awaited special guest. Please welcome Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. She crazy or you crazy? I shat in his bed. Oh, girl, she crazy. That kind of thing. That'd be such a great show. So tell me, listeners, what do you think happened on the date? Was I the asshole? Was she crazy or me crazy? I need your answers, because according to my therapist, I've forgotten who I am.